in the locker room. This is before the game ended. Before the game ended, she comes out in the locker room and posts this. Like, what are we doing?
Sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, is anybody on this team going to stand up for Caitlin Clark? JC Sheldon grabbing Caitlin Clark all game, clawing at her. It's like tonight was a brawl, folks. Tonight was a brawl, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, is anybody on this team going to stand up for... And Sophie Cunningham.
And Sophie Cunningham decides to flip the switch and turn into a one-woman wrecking crew, protecting Caitlin Clark like it's her sworn WNBA duty. The whole arena feels it. The court erupts into pure chaos. The Sun locker room turns into panic central, and Sophie starts dishing out smoke like it's a 2-for-1 special. This wasn't just a clapback, it was full-blown Avengers mode, unleashed on the entire Sun squad. Strap in, because this drama is hotter than anything Angel Reese could cook up on Twitter.
And let's start with the play that set off the entire night. So as you guys can see here, JC Sheldon is guarding Caitlin Clark. She swipes her in the eyeball. Caitlin Clark nudges her off because JC stays in her face. And then Tina Charles runs over and is kind of wagging her finger in Caitlin Clark's face. And then Marina Mabrey comes out of nowhere and chucks her to the floor. Now let's watch this in slow motion. Here, JC Sheldon is guarding Caitlin, swipes her in the face. There's one. Going for the ball, swipes her in the eyeball. Caitlin's gonna have to start wearing goggles. And then Caitlin pushes her off of her, like, why are you still in my face? Marina Mabrey, bad out of hell, chucks Caitlin Clark.
Forget teammates. Sophie's moving like a Secret Service agent that moonlights as a demolition crew. You try to elbow Caitlin. Boom. Sophie teleports in like a WWE Tajin, ready to dismantle your shoe deal and your dental alignment in one move. You bump Clark after the whistle. Congratulations. You've activated the full wrath of a professional enforcer with a jump shot and no regard for your feelings.
Welcome to WNBA Fight Night, or as some people are saying, WNBA Raw. What a game that was. We had it all. We had basketball, we had fighting, we had blonde on blonde crime. Oh, such an epic... Oh, goodness. But at the end of the day, it resulted in an Indiana Fever W. 88-71, taking care of business.
Forget teammates. Sophie's operating like the Secret Service with a side hustle in demolition. You so much as lean an elbow toward Caitlin Clark? Boom. Sophie materializes like a WWE run-in, ready to wreck your sponsorships and your smile in one clean motion. You think bumping Clark after the whistle is cute? Congrats. You just triggered the full fury of an enforcer who can drain a jumper and has zero patience for your ego.
Let's start here. This is, of course, Sophie and Sheldon going down the floor. Sophie tries to wrap her up, and Sheldon gets to the floor, and all hell breaks loose. And Sophie said, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. We'll go. So there's that. That, of course, was all a byproduct of this right here, folks. And I mean, when I tell you social media is setting the WNBA on fire right now, not in a good way, that's the understatement.
Forget teammates. Sophie's rolling like the Secret Service with a side gig in demolition. You so much as twitch an elbow at Caitlin Clark? Boom. She's in your face like a WWE run-in, ready to wreck your brand deals and your dental plan in one move. Try bumping Clark after the whistle? Congrats. You just summoned the full wrath of an enforcer with a jumper and absolutely no mercy for your pride.
Of course, Marina Mabrey is going to get ejected because that was unwarranted. She literally came out of nowhere and chucked Caitlin Clark. There should be a flagrant one, of course, on JC Sheldon because she swiped her and hit her in the eyeball. Whether it is intentional or not, you can still have a flagrant a flagrant foul called on you, whether you are trying to intentionally hurt somebody or not. But this is what they called, you guys. This is what they called. Caitlin Clark, Marina Mabrey, Tina Charles were assessed with technical fouls on Tuesday. Caitlin, Marina, and Tina Charles. Technical fouls. That's it. Technical fouls. That's it. And JC Sheldon was assessed with a flagrant 1 foul, and no players were ejected.
And the WNBA hasn't seen this level of unapologetic ride or die energy in years. It's like Dennis Rodman with a girl boss twist and a deep-seated grudge against passive aggression. Cunningham doesn't just show up. She launches herself into the center of the storm and dares it to blow harder. Now, let's get real. Caitlin Clark walked into the WNBA with a target so big it probably qualifies as its own zip code. Rookie of the month, please. She was enemy of the month every month, and not just by defenders, by entire rosters circling like it was open season on the rookie with the Golden Range. Some brought their game faces, others brought petty grudges, ancient rivalries, and unresolved issues that had nothing to do with her, but were unloaded anyway. Players lined up not to test her skill, but to try and crack her spirit. But what none of them accounted for was Sophie Cunningham watching every move like a hawk that skipped brunch and was ready to feast.
I feel good, and Sophie Cunningham put me out on a high note, folks. I didn't even say, Ben, calm down, regroup. I didn't even say that. Let's get straight to the play. Everybody, the plays everybody is talking about. First off, Marina Mabrey body checking Caitlin Clark to the ground. JC Sheldon all over her. Riding her. Pokes Caitlin Clark in the eye. Oh, man. Caitlin Clark needs to start wearing goggles, folks. Caitlin Clark's going to need to start wearing goggles. Bumps up on Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark says, "Get your hands off me." And then here comes Marina Mabrey. Boom! Exploding Caitlin Clark like a safety coming downhill in the NFL. There was no flop there.
The WNBA hasn't seen this brand of unapologetic ride-or-die energy in years. Think Dennis Rodman with a girl boss twist and a personal vendetta against passive aggression. Cunningham doesn't just check in, she hurls herself straight into the eye of the storm and dares it to blow harder. Now, let's be real. Caitlin Clark didn't just enter the league. She entered with a bullseye so big it might need its own zip code. Rookie of the month? Please. She's been enemy of the month every month, and not just to defenders, but to whole rosters circling like it was open season on the sharpshooter with the Golden Range. Some opponents came armed with focus, others with pettiness, old grudges, and baggage that had nothing to do with her, but got dumped on her anyway. They weren't just testing her game. They were gunning for her spirit. What none of them factored in was Sophie Cunningham, perched and watching like a hawk that skipped brunch and came ready to feast.